County Board of Commissioners Planning and Building Committee. We have a roll call, please.
Crawford.
Here.
McGilvray.
Here.
Dwyer is absent with notice. Teets.
Here.
Jackson. Here. Wyper.
Here.
We have quorum.
Thank you. Please join in the Pledge of Allegiance with me. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. We have approval of the previous minutes. Moved by Commissioner Crawford, supported by Commissioner Jackson. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? That passed. Do we have approval of today's agenda? Moved by Commissioner McGilvray, supported by Commissioner Teets. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? That passed. Do we have any public comment? Seeing no public comment, let's move on to today's regular agenda. The first item is Parks and Recreation 2018 revisions to the Oakland County Parks and Recreation rules and regulations. I need a motion. Moved by Commissioner Crawford and supported by Commissioner McGilvray. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having us. Under Act 261, which aligns us to be able to have a county Parks and Rec Commission, it also requires the Board of Commissioners to approve our rules and regs each year. This year we come before you with the 2018 rules, and these rules are updated each year by staff. We also involve our Sheriff's Department, which oversees the enforcement agency of our park system. One thing that we did do with our rules this year is we have historically have general rules. This year what we did was we took in each park facility rule and tied them into our general rules. So the rules that you have in front of you are a comprehensive list of the rules that we have for our entire park system. These were approved by our Parks and Rec Commission, and there are very few changes to these rules. More of it is housekeeping, changing it that way. But if there's any questions on these rules, myself or Tom Hughes, who's the chief of the South District, would be more than happy to answer those.
Any questions or comments? I did notice you took the general right off and run right to hours.
Right.
And I saw something about permits and applications about use of the park that seemed like you went away from the word permit, but it's still there. So, just clean up language?
Just cleaning it up, making it more user-friendly for our staff. You know, our staff, this is their enforcement arm when it comes to the public.
Any other questions? I went through parks and, okay. We'll call a roll.
Crawford.
Yes.
McGilvray.
Yes.
Teets.
Yes.
Jackson.
Yes.
Wyper.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Item number 2 is Parks and Recreation, Amendment number 2 to the Oakland County 4-H Association Agreement. Need a motion? Commissioner Crawford, supported by Commissioner McGilvray. Good morning.
I have also with me Mike Donlin, who's the Chief of Design, Development, and Facilities Maintenance. We do have a agreement with Oakland County 4-H Association with the 4-H Fair. This is a 5-year agreement. We ask for an amendment to this lease. If you've been out to the fair, you might have seen the big water tower out there. That is potable water that services the Springfield Activity Center as well as other areas in the park. It has been a challenge working with Oakland County Health Division in that at times the water is always safe, but it does not get enough circulation through the system. We have been working with 4-H for the last 5 years to come up with other solutions. And before you in this lease are amendments to 4-H assisting us both monetary and labor-wise with a solution. And I'll turn it over to Mike.
Yeah, Sue said that the amendments to help improve water quality out at the 4-H fairgrounds. So we're installing some wells in a phased approach. This is the first phase, one well. A pump house, which the Fair Board is getting volunteers to build, so we can create the tempered room for our well and everything. And then to revise the system so that we aren't reliant on the water tower for the potable water source. The amendment addresses the work that they're going to do with their volunteers, as well as a grant that they received through the Michigan Department of Agriculture. MDARD is the acronym. I'm trying to remember it off the top of my head. Apologize, I can't remember it. But they've received a grant there for about $40,000 to help fund the project. So this is what that amendment's for. So open that up for any questions.
Any questions or comments?
The water tower will now be used for fire suppression. Is that part of this amendment?
Yeah, after all 3 phases of the water quality are completed, the water tower will be fire suppression only again. This is the first phase of that water quality improvements. We have 2 other wells proposed and a phased approach over the next year, 4 or 5 years that we're going to be forecasting that out.
Any other questions? The water tower, how long, what's the phasing? Let's see, it's 2 or 3 phases. How long, what are we talking, a couple of years or?
Yeah, I can't remember exactly what year we have proposed for the second and third phase of the water quality, but it's definitely in our plans to work towards that end. And then, so within 5 years, I would say that we would phase all of the potable water usage from the tower out, and then that tower would become just fire suppression only for the activity center. And for the grounds, because we do have 6-inch water mains going throughout the grounds to fire hydrants. So there's a water source for fire departments, such as by the Ellis Barn, and then over towards the horse arenas where they have during the fair.
Any other questions? Call the roll, please.
McGilvray?
Yes.
Teets?
Yes.
Jackson?
Yes.
Crawford?
Yes.
Whiteford?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Item number 3 is Department of Facilities Management approval and acceptance of the joint project agreement, JPA, with the U.S. Department of Commerce, the U.S. DOC, for use of space located in Annex 1 building. I need a motion. Moved by Commissioner Jackson, supported by Commissioner McGilvray.
Good morning. I'm Paul Zakos with Facilities, Property Management Facilities, and Dan Hunter with Economic Development. This is a renewal. The resolution in front of you is for the 2017-2018 lease. It's an in-kind service lease, so there's no payments, but it's been a relationship that has worked out well for a long time now. But the Department of Commerce only allows a 1-year lease, and we use their form. So it's to go to Washington to be approved, and then came back. Now, I started this in October. Or actually, I started this in August, and I didn't get back this year's lease until just a couple weeks ago. So I put it on the agenda, and now you're approving it. So this lease would actually go from September. They're there, you know, in their spot, but it's going from September of last year to September of this year. So the next year, if they're going to stay, I'm going to start much earlier. It seems like it takes a long time to get their approval from Washington. So. So that's resolution basically keeps the renewal. Everything stays the same. We've redone the budget, so they freshened up the budget and understand the numbers a little better. But it's a good relationship. If there's any other questions?
Any questions? And how's the relationship been? And
It's a great relationship. So our business development team that's out calling on manufacturers, you know, kind of asking, are you interested in exporting? You have folks right there that we can talk to, bring into the meetings, and we're always pushing the exporting because it's a great opportunity. And those are the experts. So they can take a company, oh, you're interested in maybe doing business in Frankfurt, Germany. They can talk to their counterparts at the U.S. consulate in Frankfurt and identify potential customers for our companies. It's a no-brainer. We love having them nearby.
great. Any other questions from what I asked? Let's call roll.
Teets?
Yes.
Jackson.
Yes.
Crawford.
Yes.
McGilvray.
Yes.
Whiteford.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Item number 4 is facilities management, facilities planning, and engineering, the Sheriff's Administration to Resources Crisis Center Steam Tunnel Remediation Phase 2 project. Need a motion? Moved by Commissioner Crawford, supported by Commissioner Jackson. Good morning.
Good morning. Ed Joss, Manager of Facilities Planning and Engineering. This project here is a continuation of the project that we're currently working on. We were with, was before you last year with a request for this tunnel project. It is funded by the CIP. We've been working in the tunnel for quite a few months now, and the tunnel's approximately 1,200 feet long. We are, bear with me here just for 1 second. The tunnel, I believe, is about 1,200 feet. With the funds from last year's CIP, we were able to do a lot of work and replace some rusted out metal, replace flooring, disconnect and reconnect utilities, put in ventilation, a cathodic protection system, and we got as far as we could in the tunnel. And now with this funding that's available for fiscal year 2018, we'd like to use those funds to go in and do the repairs that are remaining in the northern 800 feet of the tunnel.
Any questions? This does seem like this comes through often as, I mean, there's always an ongoing maintenance for the tunnel.
Right, so one of the line items in the CIP is steam tunnel repairs. We have a steam tunnel maintenance and repair program where we work with civil engineers that go out and do testing and evaluate our tunnels. And, based on the results of that testing, we put together a program on what needs maintenance, what needs to be repaired so that these tunnels don't corrode to a point where they're going to cave in on us. So every year we try to identify what needs to be, again, replaced or repaired, similar to what we do with the roofs and the parking lots, and set aside funding to work on those steam tunnels.
And is there any new technology or new materials that make anything last longer? I know you do the cathode and
Yeah, and I'm not sure if there's anything new. We are, in this tunnel here, for instance, because it is a metal corrugated tunnel, and there are parts of it that are under parking lots and roads where the salt seeps through and gets to the tunnels. We're trying to tackle this one with every method possible, belt and suspenders, right? So we, like I mentioned, we're cutting out the rusted parts and replacing them with new metal. We're putting in the new concrete floor so that we could expose the rusted out metal at the floor and below it. That's also going to allow us to put in a sump pump system that will pump any water out of there. We're putting in a ventilation system, which makes it safer for the folks that are down in there, and it also helps move any moisture out of the air out of there. We are replacing and putting in the cathodic protection system, which obviously will help the corrosion, and then we're going to see how far we can get with coating the metal, actually going in there and spraying it with a paint type material to coat it. So I'm not sure that there's anything else that we could do that we're doing now to try to get these tunnels to last for as long as they possibly can.
and there's no alternative. I mean, our plant is across the street, and that's.
So our steam plant is across the street, and these tunnels are used to carry the steam, but they also, our utilities also run through them. Other than the steam, we've got fiber, electrical, so on and so forth, and this gives us access to those utilities.
Oh, it all sounds good. You always wondered, they're building bridges better now. The steel's coming, and it's epoxied, or it's charged with paint. The paint is electronically adhering to the metal, so
Yes.
we're doing the same kind of things.
Yes, exactly, yeah.
Any other questions?
Oh, you're right. At the end of the day, we are facing the same battles as the Romans
Mhm.
and just dealing with water
Yeah.
at the end of the day. So,
Water and salt. yeah.
water and salt, these are no new problems to infrastructure, so.
Mm-hmm. We're doing what we can do.
Thank you.
Aqueducts lasted for a long time. Hopefully these will.
With lead, yeah. So,
Any other questions? Let's call the roll.
Jackson.
Yes.
Crawford.
Yes.
McGilvray.
Yes.
Teets.
Yes.
Whitebird.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
The last thing is communications. I need a motion to receive and file. We have the Building Authority bylaws revised and Building Authority minutes. Moved by Commissioner McGilvray, supported by Commissioner Teets. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? That passed. Any other business? Seeing no other business, we will be adjourned.